Welcome to the Melanin Movement, where melanin magic meets meaningful discussions. Join our all-family cast as we dive into hot topics and important issues for the Black community. So, I want to say if you are a repeating viewer, welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. So, let's introduce the cast, shall we? First in, we have Shauna. Dawn. I don't want to change it up.
Exactly.
Next in, we have EBE. And last but not least, we have the C, the H, the R, the I, the S. It's Chris. Okay, so I'm Kaya, and today's topic is one that has gained a lot of traction because of the fact that the latter part of the year is the year of the woman, baby. We are dipping it and doing it. We are out here winning by all means necessary. Rest in peace to the Honorable Malcolm X. Women are successful. We are one of the highest we are the highest moving when it comes to career advancement, education, home ownership, and business ownership. Now, this is no slight to any men, but it appears that people along the lines or the likes of people like Kamala Harris, who is now in the running to be the president of these United States. People like Oprah Winfrey, people like Gayle King, people like Beyonce, people like Rihanna. These people have literally, even Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. I'm not going to take away what the wealth they have amassed. But even people like them, they are highly intelligent, but also very rich. I'm rich, bitch. You know what I mean? And for some men, it's hard for them to handle it. It's hard for a lot of men to handle women in a leadership position. It's hard for some men to handle women that make more money than they do. It's hard for some men to handle women that have more than what they have because of a myriad of reasons, which we're going to delve into today. So, since you are a homeowner, you have your own business, and what is it? Some Productions?
Pink Balls.
Pink Balls. There you go. I just spoke something into existence when I said production. I felt that in my spirit. Hey, listen. What are your thoughts on this topic?
Well, I mean, since we're in the this time of year, it's election time, and we're talking about possibly having the first woman president. I think we should go backwards first. So white women were not allowed to vote until 1920. And then we all know the Voting Rights Act didn't happen until 1965. So that's when women of color were allowed to vote. So I think, there's this thing in the country to where we have the Miss Cleaver, like we're supposed to be home. We tend to the kids,
No, you have to say tend to the children.
Oh, to the children. We're supposed to not work. We're supposed to be home cooking and, which if that is what you choose, that is okay. Because it takes a whole lot to be a stay-at-home mom. So to all those,
Child, let JD Vance tell it. Let JD Vance tell it.
it takes a whole lot to be a stay-at-home mom. So I go here to all of you that do. But being a woman isn't just a one thing. It's not a one type of thing. Some people want to own their own business. Some women are out there at work. They're educated. One of the most educated person to ever run for president was Hillary Clinton. She had her credentials far surpass a lot of men. So I don't know why I do know why we're in this time of they want to go backwards, because I feel like white men feel like they're stuck in this. We can't lose our power. So they will do everything they can, because studies have shown by 2040, white people will then be the minority, and they're scared. I have a whole lot more.
But that's the first part.
Yeah, that's the first part.
So before I forget, and Eve, I need you to gear up your response because you're gonna go. But before I forget, Shauna, when you talked about the suffragette movement and the women having the right to vote, Black women were fighting alongside white women in the 1920s so that they can get their rights. However, we didn't get ours. And it really sucks. And I've said this before on previous shows, that the only people that are considered the majority in this country are white men. Before they changed the laws, it was white men that owned land that were the majority. Everybody else was the minority. And how pious, pompous, and full of yourself you have to be to feel that you're the only ones, and you're not even the majority on the earth. There is color in every continent, but I dare not go there. But the fact that men in this country have that antiquated view on women and progression. A lot of white men have that antiquated view on progression of all people. So I just wanted to say that before I forget, because my brain is low. So Eve, who is highly educated, got her own place. She is certified upon certified. She's a master. She got her MS and BS.
And AS. Yeah. So I got my MS, my BS, my AS, and my PMP.
Yes.
Yes, traveled all over the world.
Highly. She got a resume.
First of all, thank you, Lord. Second of all, because sometimes when you don't say it out loud, you forget sometimes of what you do, and you just have to snap yourself out of it for a second, and just pop your shit for a second. But anyway.
Adjust your crown, boo. Adjust your crown.
Hello, because if nobody else does, who else will?
Yep.
Honestly. But I can honestly say, in regards to this topic, I have a lot to say in this. And I was just talking about this with my boyfriend this morning, up at 5 o'clock in the morning, just talking about this going on and on. I was just like, the neighbors gonna kick us out.
And
anyway,
another thing. Go ahead.
Right.
I need you to get some sleep at 5 o'clock.
Right. No, like, 'cause no, we just had a whole conversation. But like, I honestly think it takes a confident man to deal with someone that has been well accomplished. And listening to men, I've asked a few men if they really care about all of that stuff. And most of the time, they always tell me that they don't care about all the degrees that you have. They don't care about what money that you could bring and stuff. As long as you're, I guess, the way you hold yourself in a way of still treating him as a king or so. That's all that he wants, in all honesty. So listening to that, I would say for the most part, there are also men who are also jealous of you. I've dealt with men that actually wanted me to calm my success down because it didn't stroke their ego enough in the sense of being a provider for me or being the head man macho and I'm the provider. But I'm like, providing is not only monetarily, providing means you're going to provide for me spiritually, you're going to provide for me emotionally, you're going to provide for me physically. It takes a whole bunch of other things than money. Like in all actuality, COVID just shows you that money could be wiped away from you in a quick second. People lost their jobs, CEOs, lawyers, you know what I mean? Friends I'm dealing with and hearing with right now saying that they cannot find a job because of COVID, all these certifications and stuff. And what does it really mean? So, in my honest opinion, it's just like if you are I guess more and more now I'm seeing, and I have to give kudos to a lot of my black friends that I have, black male friends, because I'm seeing a lot of them now actually bigging up their queen. They're not scared to, promote and celebrate the person that they're with. So I'm seeing more and more people like that now. Shout out to that. But yeah, I just think it just takes a real confident man to stand firm and allowing their woman to, because in all actuality, when you sit there and support us and be our biggest cheerleaders, we're going to always pour back into you regardless. Well, the right woman will. So I just think it's just the person that you're dealing with in a sense of, who is about it and who's not.
I could not agree more. Well, since he's the only man on the panel today, shout out to the rest of the cast. Um,
You got
I
the perfect
hate
man for the
that. Not
job.
shout out to.
I got the perfect one for the job.
You got the perfect man for the job.
Yes, you do.
So, were you loading your clip while we were all talking?
I don't think about me is when I have conversations or any type of discourse, I don't listen to respond. I listen to ask more questions because that's how you kind of open up dialogues as opposed to, pushing people farther into their arguments and beliefs. But I really don't have any opposing views, right? But yeah, no, I think an important question to ask is in what context are we talking about? Right? Because when you say successful women can be perceived differently, whether or not it's in a romantic facet, whether or not it's in a, you know, professional space. Um, or depending on the industry as well. So I mean, which
True.
Well, I kind of laid it out a little bit in the prologue when I was talking about some men can't handle a woman that makes more money than them or being more successful, and that's in a romantic space, like Lance Sullivan. I wanted to um, use him as an example, even though it's a movie, in The Best Man. And um, Merch asked, "So you can't handle a woman that makes more money than you?" And he said no. He was very honest in the movie, in saying that. But he was a successful man already.
okay,
So
so before you go on, right? And this is just the philosophy junkie that I am, right? So when we say successful women, are we saying, well, before we even get there, are we saying a woman who makes more money than the man or a woman who's more successful than the man? Because I would consider those to be two different things.
Success.
Okay, so then
Success
take
in
it there.
whatever facet that means.
So then from this point in the discussion forward, I think in order to have the conversation correctly, we first have to identify what a successful woman is in general. How do we define a successful woman, quote unquote?
Look at the 3 screens.
But
A
if
successful,
somebody
okay,
says,
so that's why I pointed out the women that I did, like the Kamala Harris, and I'm using her as, because there's another aspect to this that I want to talk about too, from the Cam Newton Kurt Franklin interview. But that's why I pointed out people like Kamala Harris and Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King and Beyonce and those that are alike. And Kamala may not have the Rihanna money, but she is a badass prosecutor. She is a legal mind. She is a senator. She was a DA. Now she's VP, running for the president of the United States. And because of the fact that she's a woman, I feel that she's getting beat down more than I've ever seen a male candidate get beat down. So that's on the political stage, but it also goes into the romantic field as well. Like I mentioned, Lance and Mia clearly graduated with Lance, but she graduated to become a housewife. And like Shauna said, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, but that was her choice.
Yes.
That was the choice. So again, I think it goes back to what's the choice that you make.
Yeah.
but I'm guessing I'm asking, how do you deem who's more successful than who? Like what is
I think that part is kind of semantics, but I'm talking about the overall arching story or the overall arching trope when it comes to men most men having an issue with women that have more and do more than they do. Trump clearly does not want to debate with Kamala because he knows up here she has more than what he has, and he knows that she is going to write, read, and erase him in a debate.
I can't wait to see it.
Because I'm getting my popcorn ready.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have a watch party. Okay.
But we've seen
Hello
in these last however many years that you can't respond to Trump with intelligence.
No.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work. So, I guess as a counter argument to what you're saying, like she's gonna do this X, Y, and Z to him. I don't think she's gonna do much in a debate against him.
Well, she's going to use words that have more than 2 syllables. And she's going to come with policy.
When has that ever mattered in a conversation with Trump?
No.
It did with Hillary Clinton when he debated her and he was stalking her from behind during the damn debate, and just like, nigga, why are you behind me? Move. But yeah.
But I think we can't, sorry, Chris, I'm just, I don't think we can use Trump as an example for anything, because Trump has an issue with people who just don't agree with him, whether it's men, women, white, black. He just does. So I don't think we can put him in that category because he just don't like anybody who doesn't agree with everything.
I haven't seen a man have so many tantrums in my life until I've watched. Trump.
Say what you want. I think the man's a genius for all the wrong reasons.
Yo, son, talk to
For
your
all the
friend.
wrong reasons.
Talk to you. He says the same
For all the
exact. He said,
wrong reasons.
I love him. Genius. He's genius. I'm like, yo.
Anyway,
Yo, he said the same. Yo.
okay, so then let's take it away from Trump, because Trump clearly is in a lane all by himself. I mean, because I still want you to answer the question, because you haven't answered the question yet, Chris. You've asked questions, but you haven't answered the question on.
Only because I needed to define my variables first.
Okay, well,
so is it like a
variables defined?
Like a success of like a director going with someone that's a janitor. Yeah, they're both successful in their way, but at the same time, it's like a higher rank of like that's the CEO compared to an employee working for them.
Okay. So
in the sense of how would so in the sense of do you think that that person will be jealous or fire or whatever against that person because of the rank? Is that how you're saying it, Kaya?
Yes.
Okay, something like that.
I don't think it's a man or woman thing. I think that's a person thing or people thing. Right? It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. If you're somebody who's without, so to speak, and you're around people who are with, you know what I mean? It's even if you're not outwardly expressing jealousy or, feelings of contempt because somebody has something that you don't, there's still some subconscious, thing in the back of your mind that's just like, I wish I was in this position. And that's just for people, right?
Now, could you be romantically involved with someone that has more than you?
Me personally, yes.
Yes, you.
Mm-hmm. Me personally, yes.
Okay.
But the common or typical answer to that for most people, it's probably going to be no.
Okay, so let's say like you got with somebody, maybe her name was Gabby.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
And, she's a superstar, rock star, plays all these instruments, sings her behind off, is now a movie star,
Annoying.
Very specific examples. You really flushed this one out.
But
like and you just happen to get with her because she sees you as this genius guy, she just is in love with you, but you're not at rock star status. Would that be an issue for you?
Listen, I told you what I'd be like if that ever happened, bro. Be like Dave Chappelle after you found out he got Oprah pregnant, bro. I be answering the phone with embroidered bathrooms.
Yo, a lot of guys say that. They be like, "Look, I'm fine with it. Shoot, what you want, dear?"
I get a
here walking around with face masks.
I'll be wearing monocles.
Right. So many guys say that, though. I heard that. They will be perfectly fine.
Oh, 100%. I'm drinking tea with my pinky out every time. Every time.
So it wouldn't phase you.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
We rich.
Denzel was like, I'm leaving here with something. Like, I'm leaving here with something.
We rich. Came up on that stimulus package.
But at the end of the day, isn't it? And this goes for us all. It's about how you make me feel. So it's like if I'm the one that makes more than you, but every time I come home, let's just say like he's a chef, look, the man can cook me any kind of meal every night. I will
I've
wash
been
his
eating.
clothes. I will
I've
iron
been
his clothes
eating.
every day because I mean, good. I just think it's just at the end of the day on how you make the other feel, and that's whether you make more, that he makes more, or what. It's what works best for the two of you. Because what works best for me and mine may not work the same for Eve and hers, or for Chris. It depends. What works for you works for you.
As long as you got money to send me wings or something, my heart is sold.
She said wings.
Not wings.
Wings with blue cheese, and I am sold. That's all.
Lemon pepper. Okay, so this past May, Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker, he had stirred up some emotions.
What
Huh?
happened, Chris?
What's his last name?
Butker. 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 He got himself stuck in a pickle because of his commencement speech at a religious college. Now, he denounced abortion rights, Pride Month, COVID lockdowns, and the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion in his commencement address at Benedictine College. And he said that the most important titles a woman could hold is that of a homemaker. Now, he's speaking to a class, a graduating class of both men and women. Now, Benedictine is a religious school, but the fact that these women are graduating in whatever capacity that they were graduating, and your message to them in your speech is saying you can hold the title, but your most important role is being a homemaker for your man and your children. Now,
Where's
In
Mr.
a way,
Butker from?
where's Butker from? Oh, let's see here. Because he was discussing his wife while he was saying this. You
And
know, and
that's what works for them.
he was
Again,
choked up.
back to what I said. It goes back to what works for you and your home. Don't tell me like Dum Vance said that I can't, or rather I shouldn't vote because I don't have kids and I don't have a stake in this future. I have nieces, I have nephews. So hell yeah, I have a stake in what they will endure after I'm gone. Boy, bye.
What's his like culturally, where is he from?
I'm looking,
He's a middle America white guy.
looking.
I
He
don't know
is.
what
He
else.
is born. He was born in Decatur. He was born in Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur,
Okay, a southern white
Born
white
in
men.
Decatur. Born in Decatur. But the thing about it is, a lot of men, unfortunately, we're talking
white
about.
men.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I could only, But I think I do know some men that are of a higher net worth that would not be as boastful, and proud in the way they are right now if their woman was making more than them. It changes the whole dynamic of their attitude, of the way they present themselves to other people. It changes the way they talk in functions, and how you are with your wife in functions. It would be totally different.
Because of the culture that we live in. This conversation changes depending on the culture that you live amongst. And to what you're saying, um, Like it changes the nature of their communication. It changes the nature of their communication because we live in a like what's the phrasing I'm looking for? In a society essentially that glorifies capital. You know what I'm saying? So all of our communication is going to be, and all of our relationship dynamics essentially are going to be gravitating around capital. Who makes more?
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially who controls the sway of the relationship, whether it's platonic, romantic, or professional.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to keep it a buck and say that, even if a man is supportive, even if they, love you and will wash your feet and comb your hair and cook your food, it's different. It's different. We can say that it's not, but it is. It's different. And
Tyler Perry
there's
made
this,
like 3 movies about that.
I was just about to say Divorce in the Black. I was about to use some of his recent movies on that. You know, I just think that it's human nature, and it doesn't make the person wrong, because I don't think that, like, the men that I'm speaking about would turn into the dude from Diary of a Mad Black Woman and be and send Shamar Moore with a U-Haul to come and take and then drag her out the house.
With a bad lace front.
I don't know if that would happen, but I do know that your demeanor and just your overall confidence would shift. It would.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Can we just be honest about that part?
But
No,
it
that's
goes
true.
back to the men, men were first. The woman came from the man's rib, hence why we are women. So yes, they were first. But again, it goes back to what works for you in your home is what works for you in your home. Don't keep out of my body, my where I work, my business. Just leave me alone.
Because I know a few men would be like, "Oh, she got the good Wi-Fi home. She
I
got
could
the
play
good."
Call of
Look, Chris,
Duty.
look, Chris is like this. Look, he's shaking his head. He's like putting, setting the
I
whole
got the
game up.
I got the highest
She like, she got all these pillows.
Wi-Fi over here. I
She
got the
got all the
highest.
smell good.
I got the top tier Wi-Fi.
She got the white washcloths and white towels, not the old terry cloth. Like
She
I'm good
said
over
Terry Claw. Not Terry. Not Terry.
here. And Chris is like, "Yep."
Nah, but for real, I think it's because culture has evolved, right? Like at least for us in terms of gender roles. Like there's no more black and white gender role anymore. It's more so evolved rather into a mutual partnership. Like you just pick up whatever I'm
It's
slacking off
more of
on.
like, look, as long as the bills are getting paid every month.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
It's like, look,
I
as
pay
long as
the
the bills
phone
get paid,
bills.
you still wooing me,
You
you
pay the
still romancing
mortgage.
me, right?
Yeah.
Like we're still like trying to date each other and
Right.
stuff like that. Cause like you said, like people, COVID just showed everything. That's how, and I was like, oh, back in the day, like, listen, oh, he has to have all of this and stuff like that. And then it was during COVID, like early COVID, I was in that's when Clubhouse was hot. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
What was that?
Remember, it was an app that people would be on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah, and
sorry.
it
I
was like
forgot.
one of these like forums, like against like the whole men versus women and stuff like that. And like it opened my eyes how a lot of people was like, a lot of the women were saying, oh, he has to have this, and people were just like, well, let's look at the news of how many people lost their job over this. So does that take away their value because they were stripped off of something that wasn't their fault? Are we talking about that? So it's just like, oh, that really opened my eyes because I'm just like, no, that's honestly truthful. Like, it's really true.
But there's a lot of women's expectations that
Or
exceed
too
even
Come
what
on, like
they even
crazy
possess. Like, you
Birkins. I
want me
gotta
to be
have
making
this.
$100,000 and you
but you
just clocked into your job at Petco. Like, like, come
Right.
on, bro.
Not Petco.
Like, come
Say,
Maybe
on.
saying next,
PetSmart.
saying next.
Come on. Like, come on,
Can
bro.
I help? Who's
Next,
next?
please.
Can I
Now
help? Who's
listen,
next?
I have nothing against the women that work at Petco.
no, I know what
Absolutely
you're saying.
nothing. I have some
They're
against
gonna be looking at
women
this like,
that work at
I got to redo my resume.
I was watching David Mann, and he and his wife
Tamala.
Tamala have been married for over, I think, over 30 years. And he said he told a room full of women to write down everything they want in a man. And then he said to become all of those things that you just said you wanted. So I say all of that to say we want this man, or we to be this thing who will take, he'll pay the mortgage, will go on these long trips around the world. But again, like Chris said, you want these things. You want him to have the masters and the PhD, and he owns businesses and 5 cars and this and that. But again, you come at Petco with a GED, which is
I have a Petco card. I have a Petco card. I'm not going to let you.
is okay, but we can't expect to have all of these things if we don't want those things for ourselves.
this is the only time when I used to appreciate Kevin Samuels.
I was just about to bring him
This
up.
is the only time when he used to rip these people up to shreds.
Because women would call with these unrealistic expectations of a man, and I was embarrassed for them, and I didn't even know them.
He'd be like, goodbye. And he just hangs up.
But I think we need to get back to telling people the truth. And that's on both sides of the coin, because a lot of men that are of high net worth, they have this thing where they feel that they're handsome, and some of them aren't. They feel that every woman wants them because of their sex game. And it's just like, I don't want to go back to him, but Stormy Daniels, like, and they think that they are the sun, the moon, and the stars, and it sets on them, but they're not really nice. Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode.
I am a strong, successful Black woman. However, I need my Black men. Because when my water bill was a little bit more expensive than usual, I called my Black men and I was like, hello. I said, yo, Broham. I said, Chris, like, why is my bill $100 more?
Girl, when she said she called her Black man, I was just like, who this Black man that I don't know about? Feeling overwhelmed? Lost? Unable to break free from negative thoughts? In a world filled with noise and negativity, discover the power of positive thinking. Introducing From Affirmation to Manifestation, a transformative 30-day guide that will change your life. Join thousands who have unlocked the secret to success and abundance. In this book, you'll learn how to rewire your brain for success, one affirmation at a time. Watch as your dreams manifest before your eyes. Start your journey today and rewrite your story with From Affirmation to Manifestation. Get your copy now and step into the future filled with possibilities. Visit these retailers where books are sold to order your copy today and begin your transformation journey.